Alhamdulillah, countless gratitude to Allah, Lord of all the creations, that He has bestowed upon us this opportunity and ability to spend this time in His remembrance. Innumerable peace and blessings be upon our beloved Prophet, Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa Ahmad Mujtaba sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, because of whom Allah's mercy is upon us. My dear and respected audience, Allah says in Quran, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَمَا أُنزِلَ عَلَى الْمَلَكَيْنِ بِبَابِلَ هَارُوتَ وَمَارُوتَ وَمَا يُعَلِّمَانِ مِنْ أَحَدٍ حَتَّى يَقُولَا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ فِتْنَةٌ فَلَا تَكْفُرْ فَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ مِنْهُمَا مَا يُفَرِّقُونَ بِهِ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَزَوْجِهِ. And the magic, was not brought to Babylon by the two angels named Harut and Marut, nor did they teach anybody until they declared and told them that we are here as a test, so you do not go astray. But they used to learn from them the spell to cause a split, a rift between the man and his wife. Now, we have already discussed how Jews, they had put their book, the Torah, the Psalms, and the Bible as well, behind their backs. They changed them, they interpreted them the way it suited their worldly gains and benefits, and they started indulging into the magical practices, into learning and teaching magic instead of following the commands of Allah. So much so that they had categorized Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salam as a great magician and a king, rather than being a prophet and messenger of Allah. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he clarified this matter, that Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salam, he was given that enormous kingdom where he used to rule the jinns, the humans, the winds, the water, the birds, the animals. It was all given to him by Allah. He did not make any of those things happen because of some magical powers that he possessed. There was no magic involved. Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salam, he, on the other hand, he ordered all the books, the magic textbooks, the guidebooks, whatever you may call them. He ordered them to be collected and buried in the ground and put his throne on top of it so nobody can get to it. Magic was such a bad, it still is such a bad thing. However, things got twisted. And furthermore, he also ordered that the humans and the jinns do not intermingle forever. But as we discussed last time, I mentioned, things got twisted around, and it was given a completely different perspective after his death. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he came with the Quran, and Quran that was attesting or testifying to the teachings of Torah and Psalms before it, the books that the Jews had and heed to, Bible they don't even acknowledge. So he told them, and the Quran said that, why are you, like the magic is bad, why are you following these magical practices? Allah forbade it. And the Jews, they said, oh no, magic was sent to us by Allah, to the humans. It was the Harut and Marut, those two angels, they taught the magic. It is from Allah just like anything else. Like the Quran, that's like Torah, that's Zabur. So in this verse, Allah is clarifying that matter for them and for all of us. That Allah did not send Harut and Marut to teach people magic. Allah only sent Hidayah, the guidance, the blessings. Harut and Marut were not sent to the earth to teach humans anything. It was not their purpose to be here. Now, there are a few stories about them, and from the narrations, the authentic ahadith, that the story of Harut and Marut, the way it starts, is that, remember, it was the time of Hazrat Idris alayhi salam, and Hazrat Idris alayhi salam, it is narrated that he was the first prophet after Hazrat Ibrahim Hazrat Adam alayhi salam. The first prophet sent to the mankind was Hazrat Idris alayhi salam. Some time had passed, the people had forgotten the teachings of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam. They had started to indulge into paganism, worshipping idols and doing everything bad that humans can do, all the things. Lots of evils had sprung their heads in that time. And it was not long, it was shortly before when Hazrat Adam alayhi salam was created. So the angels, we all know that when Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, Allah created him, the angels, they requested to Allah that you are creating him, but he is going to create disorder, spread disorder in the world. He is going to commit great sins. So Allah then taught Hazrat Adam alayhi salam the names of the things, and then he presented him to the angels and asked them to answer the questions. They could not, Adam could. And then Allah asked the angels to prostrate to him to attest to his superiority, his knowledge, and that we know all that story. But that happened not long ago, before the time of Hazrat Idris alayhi salam. Remember, the time on the skies and the heavens is very longer than the time in us. Centuries and even millennials on the earth time, they count like mere seconds, maybe less, in the heavens. So now those angels, they were looking down, and there are these people, the humans, they are worshipping idols and they are doing everything that is sinful. So they requested to Allah again that, oh Lord, these people are disobeying you. They are going against you. They are so ungrateful. They are so unthankful. They are so full of evil. And Allah told them that you do not understand. You cannot appreciate, you cannot understand the complexity of the test that they are put to. Because angels, they do not have any desire. They do not have any nafs. They do not have any peer. They do not have husband and wives and children and have to earn anything or do, or superiority over one or another. They are pure from that. They are just a pure creation. They do whatever Allah tells them to do, and they keep on doing it without answering. They are pure. They cannot understand the things that we have to go through. So Allah told them, Allah said, you really do not understand the test that they are going through. But if you still think that they are bad, then why not you put two of you forward? That I will send to the world as humans, and then let's see what they do. So they looked around and they chose two of their greatest scholars, their most pious of the angels. Even amongst the angels, they picked the two who they thought are the most knowledgeable and the most pious. Respect and obey Allah the way it should be, the better than everybody else. So they're Harut and Marut. They presented them for that test. That, okay, Allah, here they are, send them to the earth. So Allah created a body, just like for us, with fire, water, wind, and earth. Bodies were created for them. They were given all those desires that the humans have, and then they were sent to the earth in the form of human, in the city of Babylon. Its old name is Sumer. So they were sent there, and Allah gave them a special ism azam, a secret, to use it to come back to the heavens every night. So spend the day with the humans, and then at night come back to the heavens amongst your friends, the angels. So they settled in Babylon, and because they were knowledgeable and they were very pious and doing ibadat, sooner the word started getting around that here are these two people who are very nice, very kind, and people started flocking to them. All that like publicity started getting around, and they used to start bringing their matters to them, Harut and Marut. And they, being the angels and knowledgeable, they used to start giving them the verdict, okay, this person needs to do this, you were wrong, you were right, with the justice and everything. And so, as it grew, their fame grew, and more people started to come to them. One of the things, the people started to ask them, okay, you are so good, so you should have something special. Why not you teach us how to separate a wife from the husband? That person is making this thing. They used to tell them, okay, you know what, we are here for a test. Should not be asking it. But then, knowing humans, they know how to get around. Upon their persistence, they used to teach them those spells. Like, okay, this is, you say this, then this is how you can separate the two. And I can see it, how the humans trap it. And all it takes is a crying woman go, oh, my son, he used to love me so much. His wife, he got him from me. No, he does not talk to me. Help me out. And I can think of scenarios when humans can manipulate anybody to get their way around. But XYZ, whatever the reason was, that is what they started showing the interest towards. So they used to come to them, and they used to tell them that, okay, you should really not be asking about these things because we are here as a test. And upon their insistence, they used to tell them that spell. Long story short, the word kept on growing, and up until one day, a very beautiful woman came to meet them for an issue. Now, her name was Abeda, and she was called as Zahra, Venus. Very pretty lady. They both looked at them, and now because they were angels and they were humans, they had the human desires, both immediately fell in love with her. And now they forgot everything that they knew. Rasulullah said to the women, I have not seen anybody who can make the wisest of the man do the stupidest of the things. Anybody better than you. O girls, o women folk, you can make a person go dumb. The wisest of the people, you can make them go dumb. You are so powerful. He told them to say, he said, I am not leaving anything, a greater fitna, a cause of greater, not evil. Evil is not fitna, means fitna is also something that you love more. And that love drags you to do things that are not appropriate. Like, innama amwalukum wa awladukum fitna. Your wealth, your mal, your possessions, and your children, they are fitna, they are a test for you. So Rasulullah said, I am not leaving anything that is a greater test than the women, because they have the power to make the smartest of the person do the dumbest of the things. It's just, and I generally tell them, it is because Allah created everything for everybody, for every creation in the earth. Sun, be it a human, be it an animal, everybody enjoys its warmth. Water, everybody drinks. Seasons, everybody benefits from them. Woman was created only to please the man. Woman, Hawa, was created only to please Adam alayhi salam. He was lonely in everything. And she was created so that he be happy. So that by design, there is nothing that is more attracted to a normal human being than a woman. And that attraction grows to an extent that it turns you dumb from a smart person. So Rasulullah, he said that I have not seen any greater test than the woman for the men. And the same when the angels, they came to the world, that was what they encountered. They looked at that girl, that woman, and they fell in love. And now all they wanted is to somehow marry her, be with her. So they both proposed to her. And she said, okay, I can marry you. Whoever of you would do one of the four things. If you do one of these four. I have four conditions. And she started, okay, I can marry you if you prostrate to my idol. The idol that I worship. They said, no, can't do that. It's the greatest of the sins. Can't do that. I said, okay, then tell me the secret word that you have from Allah that you go to the heavens each night with. They said, no. Allah has entrusted us with that secret. We cannot share with it. It will make Allah angry. Something else? He said, okay, you want to marry me? Go kill my husband. They said, killing somebody unjustly is one of the great sins with severe punishment. We cannot do that. Anything else, anything milder that you would please for us to do? He said, okay, pretty much to the effect, if I am to recreate it, can't do anything, okay, here is this thing then. Have some wine with me, have a drink with me then. Can you do that? And one of them, they reasoned, they said, okay, this is not as big of a crime, as big of a sin, as killing somebody or prostrating to an idol or sharing Allah's secret. So they said, okay, this is manageable. We'll do that. She got them drunk. And once they were drunk, they prostrated to that idol. They told her that secret verse, ayah, kalima. Allah gave them. They killed her husband. And now as soon as she learned that thing, that ism, she used it and she said, oh, looked at the sky and the prettiest of the thing on the sky is the planet Venus. It seems so cool, so bright, so good. So she used it and she said, oh, I'm going to go to Venus. And she flew to the Venus. And those of you who know anything about Venus or astronomy, Venus is nothing but a hot gas. Anything gets there, gets burnt, incinerated immediately. It's not a place you want to be around ever. But anyway, that's what happened to her. These two, when they came back to their senses, they realized the gravity of their sins, what they have done. They started crying and weeping and wailing. Then they rushed to Hazrat Idris alayhi salam. And they asked him, ask Allah for forgiveness for us. So Hazrat Idris alayhi salam, he requested to Allah. And then Allah said, okay, they have committed the crimes, they have committed the sins, they will be punished. But I can give them the choice to either be punished in this world or be punished in the hereafter. Now one of them, he reasoned to the other, he said, the world has just been created. There's just a few generations that had passed for the human. Only Allah knows how long is it going to stay. Let us ask for the punishment of the hereafter and avoid it till the life of the world. The other one said, he said, I fall to your reasoning once, I'm not going to make the same mistake again. No matter how long this world is going to live, it is going to end. Whereas the punishment in the hereafter is eternal. So we will choose the punishment of this world. And then that's what they said. Oh Allah, we accept the punishment of this world. So in the same Babylon, they are hung upside down in a well. There is fire that is burning under them, and they'll stay like that up until the day of the judgment. So that is the story. Now this verse clarifies a few matters. First thing, it clarifies the false accusations of the Jews that the magic was something that was sent by Allah. Magic was not sent by Allah. Allah sent those two angels as a test. When they had the human desires and they were susceptible to the attacks of shaitan and nafs just like any other human being, that's when they shared those things that they knew. They were not sent to teach it. They knew it, and then they shared it with the humans. They taught the humans, and that too, not without declaring first that we are just a test, don't do it. That was the first thing. Second, that angels thought of themselves being superior to the humans. They were still thinking the same way that they thought when Hazrat Adam alayhi salam was created. It was natural that whatever reservations they had, they were seeing them happening in front of their eyes. Nobody has the knowledge of Allah. Allah knows everything. But that is one aspect they were not aware of. They were thinking still that humans are bad creation by design. Under this assumption, they presented themselves for the test. And because of that, when they came to the world, they stood by themselves. They kept on doing their ibadah, they kept on sharing their knowledge. When they came there, they did not go to Idris alayhi salam right away. They were humans. They forgot that the humans can only be benefited if they follow their prophet of the time. They did not establish that connection with Hazrat Idris alayhi salam because in their minds they were better. They knew a lot of things. And they sat by themselves and started dealing with the people by themselves and giving fatwa by themselves and everything. And that's why when they were given those options, they fell for it. In their minds, they decided well. But had they gone to Hazrat Idris alayhi salam, seeked his guidance, stood with him, he would have for sure told them to not do any of those things. Just get away from it. He would have guided them because that was his job to guide people. They relied on their own knowledge and their own wisdom, and they fell for it miserably. Third, that we can understand from this story is that intoxication of any kind, it is harmful. It is destructive to the human mind. It takes away our ability to think straight. Now, intoxication can be of a drug, of liquor, of power, of wealth, of your tribal prejudice, of your love for another human being, your love of your children, love of your wife. Anything that makes you indulge into so much that you forget about everything else, that is called intoxication. And whenever you get intoxicated with something, that thing sooner or later is going to get you destroyed. And intoxication can even be of knowledge. Once you accumulate too much of them, you start thinking too big of yourself. And the moment you start doing that, you're not back to square one, you're back to square minus 101. You like go down in the ditch. So, the only intoxication that actually helps you, uplift you, is when you got intoxicated with the love of Rasulullah. That is the only thing that the more you get indulged into it, the better off you become. Everything else, as soon as you got too much into it, it will destroy you. It will destroy. But if you love Rasulullah, the more you love him, the deeper you get into that, the better you become. That is the only thing that is worth getting intoxicated with. There is no other thing in the world. Allah has not created anything else that is worth that much commitment to the level of forgetting everything else. If you want to indulge yourself into something, indulge yourself in the love of Rasulullah. Be in love with him and be in love with him as much as you can. And it will only raise you higher and higher and higher. Look at Harut and Marut. They were knowledgeable. They were angels. They knew. They saw hell. They saw the paradise. They used to go up. They were not from here. And yet, they fell and they slept. Their knowledge could not save them. Their piety could not save them. Because they relied on themselves. Had they have that nisbat, had they have that dedication to the Prophet, to Hazrat Idris alayhi salam, they would have gone to him and said, no, make Allah forgive us. They would have pleaded to Allah, Allah, for the sake of Rasulullah, forgive us. They would not have, again, when Allah gave them the options, they were hasty in picking one option. They did not turn to him, no, Allah, please just forgive us. Astaghfirullah. We are seeking your forgiveness. We do not want any punishment in this world or that world. We are seeking your forgiveness. You are Ghaffar. They did not cry to him. They did not plead to him. They did not put Hazrat Idris alayhi salam in between, told him, no, you ask Allah, Allah for his sake. Like it is meant to be asked. Like a child. You keep pleading up until, because Allah wants to forgive you. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told us that if you stop making mistakes, Allah will wipe you off and bring other people instead of you who will make mistakes and ask for his forgiveness. Because that's how he shows his generosity of being apt forgiving. He loves to forgive. If you don't make mistakes, who is he going to forgive? So they did not have that nisbat. They failed at that point as well. If they would have asked Allah, they would have kept on trying and not hastily picking the lightest of the punishment, they would have been forgiven. Allah is always ready to forgive. But they missed that boat as well. So whenever any of us thinks that, oh, I got too much knowledge, I just am too big of a scholar, or too big of a muttaqi, that's when you lose the boat. And this is one thing that Nisbat-e-Rasooli sallallahu alayhi wasallam teaches you. The more you go up, because what is Nisbat? It is becoming greater and greater in the service of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Becoming making yourself up there, making yourself smaller and smaller, in comparison to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A lower level. So here, this is the fun part, interesting part. The lower you bring yourself in terms of comparison to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that lower you feel yourself in comparison to him, the higher your status grows in eyes of Allah. So as you think of yourself more inferior to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that I am worthless and more worthless and more worthless than him, the more you realize about him, that the more worthless you feel you are, and your stocks grow as much in the eyes of Allah. So that is how it goes. You keep bringing yourself down to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah keeps raising you up in His eyes. That's how it works. That is what Nisbat-e-Rasooli tells you. So a person with Nisbat-e-Rasooli, he cannot be arrogant, because he always has that stick up there. He knows Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in there. He cannot think big of himself, because he is lying on the ground flat already. He won't boast off of his knowledge. And even if Shaitan makes him slip, a moment he realizes back, he'll come back and lay down the same spot or near it, and he will correct himself. So, this is our last meeting of this Ramadan. Alhamdulillah. And I am narrating all this. I'm saying all these words to all of us, to remind each and every one of us that the solution to all our problems, the remedy for all our ailments, all our deprivations, their fulfillment of all our desires, it is that we return to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Some of us are sick. Some of us seek healthy offspring. Some of us have challenges making both ends meet. Some of us have other troubles, and all of us want well-being of our parents, our children, our partners, our brothers, sisters, and our relatives. We all want that. The only solution to get all of that, the only way to get all of that, is to return to Allah. To disassociate ourselves from anything that keeps us away from Allah. Return to Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Establish that love and connection with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that is called Nisbat-e-Rasooli. Put our matters in the hands of Allah. Make Him our custodian. Rather than us trying to make smart moves and everything, leave the matters on His hand. Start relying upon Him, trusting Him, thinking as to what Allah would want us to do here. Whenever we are in a situation, rather than making a smart move, first think of what Allah would want us to do here. Do everything to please Him. And that is the only way to our success. Our ailments, they will get cured. And even if they don't, Hazrat Imran bin Hussain radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he had this disease, hepatitis you can call him. He was bedridden for 30 years. His belly was like pumped up, filled with fluid. For 30 years he was bedridden, he could not get out of the bed. He was a Sahabi. Somebody came to him and he said, how are you coping with it? And I want everybody to pay very close attention. But how are you coping with it? Can't you get tired of it? And he said, let me tell you one thing, but promise me you are not going to tell it to anybody up until I'm dead. The person promised. He said, because I showed patience on this ailment, I did sabr, Allah has blessed me such that the angels come to me, to my bed, and they shake my hand. I see them, I shake my hands with them. They keep me company. So this is what Nisbat-e-Rasooli gives you. Everybody is sick. There is nobody who is not sick. I was other day reading a book, and they said, and it's actually very interesting, I have to finish it. It says, it's a research, a person did a research, and he said he proved in that book, at least he initiated the debate, that humans were not created on earth. They were not created for earth. It says humans are not from earth. He said that the humans, they were created for an environment. An American guy, scientist, so they were created for an environment where there was no sun, bright sun. It was very moderate climate. He had best of the dresses to wear. He did not have to work hard to anything. And then he said that the humans looks like they are sent to this earth as a punishment. And then he kept on categorizing the reasons. He said, look, we are the only people, humans are the only creation who get a heat stroke, sunstroke when they are exposed to the sun. Other animals, look around, they don't get heat stroke or sunstroke when they are in the sun. They have natural defenses. We do not have any natural defense. We feel, in the hot we feel too hot, in the cold we feel too cold. There is no environment that is made for us. We need to cover ourselves, or lightly or heavily, whatever it is, to protect ourselves from the elements. Other animals, they do not have to make big houses and everything to protect them. Humans had to. But there is a whole thing that in that. One of the points he said also, look at the humans. If you can tell me of one person who does not have any sickness or ailment, hidden or known, I will be really surprised. He said everybody is sick. Earth is not our place to be. There is something going wrong with everybody. And it is true. There is something going wrong with everybody. We may not know it. We generally know it when it is time for us to go. Then all of a sudden the doctor said, oh, you had been carrying this bacteria for that long inside you. And now it's almost about to kill you. You say, what? But that thing is already there. It's doing its work, its job. So everybody is ill. You will never be able to get all the wealth in the world. You will never be able to, you can be the richest person in the world, but you will still not have everything. You will not, your desires will never top off. But once you leave everything in the hands of Allah, once you have Nisbat-e-Rasooli, then whatever you have will become enough for you. That is the beauty of it. It is not about getting everything that I want. It's about being happy with everything that Allah gave me. You keep asking for more things, but then you still remain content. And Allah gives you. It's not that He does not, He gives you. There are three of one thing is for sure going to happen. Either you are given that thing, or you are given something better, or your reward is stored for the day of the judgment, for the final day. So, one of the three things is going to happen for sure. But once you have that nisbat, it gives you peace inside your heart. It makes your life that much easier. And this is why we should all return to Allah. And this Ramadan, it's getting away from us. I lost it. I hope none of you did. I lost it. Could not do anything this whole month. And I'm not sure if I'm going to get to see another one or not. But the very least that we can do is to make a pact that we will try. We will try to return to Allah. We will cleanse our hearts and minds. Remember, there is nobody worth your time, effort, dedication, love, focus more than Allah. How many hours, days, years do we pass without even having a headache? And the moment we started getting it, how miserable do we become? Oh, give me Advil, give me Tylenol. It's not going away. What do I do? I'm so, take me to the hospital, take me to the emergency, blah, 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 blah. Everybody has gone through it. Did we even think that many years, months, hours, I was free of it? How many times did I thank Allah for that? He took one tiny comfort from me, and I'm all jumpy and cranky. We ask for Him something once, and then we show attitude. Oh, I asked you once, so you did not give it to me. Keep asking Him. If you want, fight with Him. But fight with Him with pride that you are the one who can give it. Who else do you want me to go and ask for it? Be personal with Him. He likes it. There was this gentleman, he fell ill, and he was a butcher. And there was this Babaji in Ishfaq Sahib, Shaji, you are Raber. He narrates it. He said, it was a butcher, and he used to give him the meat, get the meat from that Babaji. Babaji Noor, I believe was his name. And he was doing namaz, salah, and a person came, he said, that butcher is about to die. So he broke the salah, the Babaji, and he pushed the Ishfaq Sahib to do the same and took him and rushed to his place. They reached there, and the person was about, it seemed like it was his time. And then I liked the way the person made dua to Allah. And realized the belief behind these words. He said, "Oh Allah, He gives us good meat, and we feed your people with that meat. If you make him well, if you elongate his lifespan, you do not have to get anybody's permission. You are not answerable to anybody about what you do." And that was his belief, and that person turned around. But look at the belief and that dua. He said, "Oh Allah, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to put a summary to anybody. Nobody can question you. You are not answerable to anybody. Please. There is nothing that is going to get disturbed. Please." And Allah listened to him. So ask him, plead to him, cry to him. Do whatever it takes. You want something to happen, make it happen. But ask the way it is supposed to be asked. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam on the battle of Badr. Hazrat Ali Karamallah Wajh said, he came from the battle, he said, "Let me go see what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is doing." And he came and he was in the prostrate, in the sujood and making dua and crying. He went back, started fighting and came back, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was crying in the same position. He went back and came back. So much so that then Hazrat Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, he could not take it anymore. He held Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam from back and he said, "Rasulullah, just stop it. You have done it. Allah will not let you down. You have fulfilled the duty of asking from Allah." He kept on crying and he kept on repeating the same words, asking for Allah, oh Allah, if these people get defeated today, till the day of the Qiyamah judgment, nobody will ask you, call your name. Nobody will be in Muslim anymore. Well, and he kept on doing it for hours and hours and hours and crying. And Allah listened. Allah listens to us. Yes, He will not give to us if it is something that is bad for us, no matter how hard we try. But that should not stop you from asking for it. Keep on asking up until He gives you something better. Invoke Him, but you have to focus. It's not lip service. Remember, He knows what is inside your heart. He is not looking at your lips, at the words coming out of it. He is looking at the heart. He is looking at the focus that you got. Oh Allah, make my mom well, and you are like, oh okay, whatever. So you think why would He? If I tell you something, Malik Sahab, I need this phone, but you know what, whatever. So, will He give me the phone? No. That's not the way of asking somebody for something. If it matters to you, show it that it matters to you. A tear cannot drop out of your eyes and you think you really want it? No. Who are you deceiving? Who are you making fun of? Yourself. Put your matters in the hand of Allah. Believe in Him. Ask Him with a clear heart. Make things happen for you. Remember, your only weapon is dua. Learn to make dua. Do not give it up. And trust me, you need Allah's help even when you are dead. Dua is not only for keeping you alive. The way you leave this world is also important. And what happens to you and your loved ones after they die is also important. More important. So because you live in this earth 60, 70, 80, 100 years, you have to live under the ground for hundreds of years. There is not a moment that we do not need Allah. So let us turn towards Him. Let us clean our hearts, our minds, our souls. Let us focus on Him. We gather here for no other purpose but to call on Him, to present ourselves to Him. Say, oh Allah, You are our only hope. Not last hope, not first hope. You are our only hope. We are here to ask You because there is nobody else worth asking from. And this is the dedication. This is the focus. This is the purpose that we all shall have when we are here. So with this focus, this intention, this mindset, let us all start.